Good morning, this is Skip Jeffries. Coming in here from my hot steamy garage in the morning. Had a little issue with the car. Another old car problem that you always have to kind of resolve when you get a car that's 5 to 10 to even almost 20 years old. I installed a backup camera probably a good 5-6 years ago. It wasn't like a top of the line or name brand system. The radio head I think was a Boss system that had the ability to plug in a back camera. It didn't actually come as a full set. But anyways, whole goal with having a car like I do, especially when it's like a pickup type car, sometimes it's a little hard to see the blind spots, and backing this thing up is a pain in the butt because you've got that big trunk end on it. Can't always tell where you're at, so adding a backup camera was key. And installing it originally was kind of a pain in the butt, but once you got it in, it was well worth it. But anyways, what brings me to this problem this week, got into my car. It's been a while, probably a good 3 months. Was going to Lowe's to pick up something. Dropped the tailgate down. Camera worked fine when I left the house, but after I loaded it up with, I think I was getting wood for the fence or something. Who knows? Maybe it was even soil for the garden. But anyways, make the long story short here. Get home, park in the garage, got everything emptied out, swept everything out of the back of the truck, closed it up, and then had to go run and do some more errands. Put it into reverse, and I noticed my backup camera didn't pop on like it normally does. So I figured I'd dig in. I thought, well, maybe I could do a YouTube video, but it was like, well, let me dig in there and see if I can see anything. And I went ahead and dug around, opened up all the panels, and looking for a loose connection, because what I've always been taught, a lot of times if you got some kind of electrical issue, normally it's like a ground that's come loose. So I went in, kind of checked all the places I could without tearing apart the whole car, and finally came to the conclusion that brings me here in the garage today. Is like, we spent, I think it was maybe 19 bucks on a camera here. This one is a Inclake vehicle backup front view camera. But anyways, ordered it off of Amazon, made in China, but pretty comparable. Had the same type of hookups that I was looking for the camera that I had originally. But the main goal here is just probably do an ops check to see if it is the camera. Is the main goal of this video here. Will we fix it? Hopefully. But if not, then we know where we need to dig. So go ahead and we'll dive right into this. But anyways, hope you enjoy. Alrighty, try to keep my tools as simple as I can. Like I said, I've got this little Hyper Tough set, 37 piece. I've got expensive Cobalt set, but you use what you want to use. As you can see on this tailgate here on the back of this Subaru here, it's got a plastic, almost looks like a truck liner or bed liner in it. So it's got, I believe it's a T25 type Torx bit, and I don't know how many screws we can count here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, roughly 10 screws that we need to take off of here. So let's go ahead and get on to it here. Figure out which way is reverse, righty tighty, lefty loosey. I think we got all 10 screws off. This plastic cap here should just pop right off. And of course you got a different type of screw head here, so that requires another different type of bit. So we'll find something that fits in here. It's a Phillips bit. I don't know if you can see or not because it's kind of dark. It's early here. You may want to go with something a little bit bigger. But these things here, there's what, 2, 4, 6, 8, another 10 screws here. This is a line that I ran up for my electrical to the back for my backup camera here. This existing line here is for your tail light or your license plate lights in itself. Pretty well thought out, I guess, plan. I would almost call it almost over-engineered to a certain extent. But you want to get a bit that fits pretty good, that you're not going to tear up these screw heads, because sometimes these things are pretty tight in there. We'll give this bad boy a go here. And if you're not an electrician, a lot of this wiring stuff is not the easiest stuff to do here. All right, we're gonna go ahead and take a look in here. Yeah, a little bit of dirt, but not too bad. I wanna make sure I did Jimmy rigged the clip the last time. Got sick of, I think it was my third time doing it, and I ended up just safety wiring the dang little metal clip to the connector to the clip here itself, and it's held for, God, it's probably been a good 10 years. But looking at how I wired this thing here, this is the actual wiring to the camera here itself, and there was the directions that you had to snip some wires here and there for the backup, because yeah, it's right here, and I didn't do that because my system is so old that it doesn't even have the capability to follow the lines or have the curving lines on it. But yeah, we'll go ahead. Let's see if we can disconnect this old camera here, grab that new one, and we'll just kind of lay it down here and see what works, what doesn't work. All right, we'll give her a second go here. I got this replacement camera here. Looking at it, I will probably have to take this thing apart because I don't want this thick plastic thing hanging off the end of it. I mean, even though it doesn't even serve a function because you can't even adjust your camera. So I'll see if I can use the regular harness on it. We'll go ahead and just kind of quickly connect this together here. And we'll go ahead and start this car and see if this thing actually fires up.
He's the head coach, right? The owner, he owns astronomer, whatever.
Alright folks, that seemed to fix our problem. It was just a dead backup camera. Fired it up, put it in reverse, and it worked. So glad that's a good, quick, simple, easy fix here. Now we just gotta reroute our wires here and take off the old camera, put on the new. But anyways, if you can see, hopefully from my B or A roll here, but backup camera here, we kind of snuck through just available holes. I didn't want to drill any more holes than what I needed to. And looking at this wire here, we'll see what we can take apart here. We need a small Phillips head just to kind of release this camera, I'm guessing. Like I said, I'd like to reuse this mount, but I may not be able to. Alright, back. Now I remember why I hated putting this thing back together here. You actually had to take this centerpiece off here. It kind of pops off, but there's 3 screws and a little snap ring thing to it. But you got to pull this thing off to even get access to get the camera in there. I was trying to figure out how I had it wired, and like I said, I went through existing holes. I wasn't going to drill anything, and I found this hole here where the license plate lights went through, and it had a little plastic grommet already in the hole, so you didn't have to worry about it catching and cutting the wire on it. That took longer than expected. Glad I did that off camera, but hopefully the install isn't too bad. But yeah, if you own one of these things, this here, I don't even know if this was in the owner's manual, to tell you the truth. But you definitely don't want to break this thing, because I don't think you can actually find these parts anymore here. And looking at this, I'll probably have to do some maintenance to the seal on this thing. It looks like it's come loose here. We'll see if we can glue it. So you definitely don't want water getting down into it, because you do have electrical going through. So we'll get this camera snip free. I've got couple little zip ties put on it, and the goal is not to, if you're gonna cut a wire, cut the old dead camera wire if you can, but try not to clip your light camera or your light wiring. Yeah, we'll pull this old camera wiring out, and we'll put the new one in. Actually, we've got to do some finagling with this new camera to see if we can use the existing hookups, because I had to buy that kind of independent to fit the Subaru here. This old metal clip I used kind of went behind the license plate, and it was a hard one to find. I don't even know where I got it, if it came with the camera, if I had to buy another camera, return a camera, who knows. But this will work, but I can't use my existing license plate, and I'm not gonna rebolt anything, so we're gonna do some jimmy work here and try to get this thing jerry rigged so we can use it. I mean, a simple in and out change project probably not gonna happen with the Subaru here, especially when you're using aftermarket parts and trying to make it fit an old girl like this thing is, like I said, well, we'll work on it. I may throw the camera on and see what we can come up with. Alrighty, back from running around and fumbling around here. Anyways, I guess I figured out a way to use the new camera with the old style hookup here. Anyways, all these cameras, once you tear them all the way apart, have the same 2 screw connectors, so that's a godsend here. But this bracket works for what I've got. I want to reuse it. I mean, it's nothing fancy, just a metal bracket, but it's held up pretty good. I'm going to go ahead and see if I can attach it, and I'm probably going to screw myself doing that. That seems to be pretty good. I did swing by Walmart and pick up some super glue, I guess. We're gonna give that a go to see if we can fix this seal real quick. And then I did swing by Harbor Freight. I had to pick up some clamps for another project, but I figured I'd pick up a couple of these little thumb clamps here to kind of hold this seal in place while we're mucking around with everything else. This glue can dry and we can get this thing back up on the road here. Yeah, 99 cents at Harbor Freight, these little clamps. Not too bad a deal here. Alright, give her a go with the super glue here and hopefully don't jack things up too bad. Let that dry. Alright, on to the camera installation here and get the Subaru back on the road. Put a little bit of lube on these license plate screws. Okay, clean up, I guess, a little bit. Seems a little rusty. I'll probably end up taking this thing to the wash. We're going to go ahead and see if we can get this camera installed. I believe I had that set behind there with the license plate. Yeah, it's kind of tucked up underneath it. Easier said than done sometimes, I guess. But we'll see here. There we go. And that should lock it into place here on this end. Okay, now we can do our routing. Tuck our wires through. I'm trying to think of how I had that run. Let's see how this thing lies here and not try to break anything. Let's see if we can get this sucker popped in there. There we go. There we go. All right, let's get Looby Dooby on. Three screws that we gotta tighten down to hold that tailgate cover on. Tighten that down. We'll go ahead and get some zip ties going on this thing. Kind of like to wire it to existing wiring harnesses that are already in place here. Just kind of keep it strapped down. We go yellow to yellow, red to black. And if you don't want the lines in there, I guess you can snip a couple of these wires, but I'm not going to mess with that. I think we're pretty good for wire management here. That should keep things in place. And that's just reverse order on your panels. Double check and take a look at that. Make sure that's tight. Yeah, a lot tighter than what it was before. And just reverse order on your panels here. Should just fold right in the spot here. There we go. Nice little fit. And none of these screws are magnetic, which is kind of weird. I don't know if you can see, this camera does it justice, but there you have it installed. Go ahead, we'll give her a go test here. Alright, we'll see if we got camera, boys. Probably need to put the seatbelt on, you'll have that annoying beep. See if we'll need to adjust it at all here.
Good morning, it's the Big Mad Morning Show.
There we go. Hopefully that camera's picking it up, but we've got camera, folks.
Also text BMMS and then what you want to say to 82945.
Not too bad, I'm pretty happy with it.
This is out, but she should return on Monday. Good morning, Gimpy.
Not as clear as the other one, but I think it'll work. But yeah, there you have it, the backup camera in a 06 Subaru. Start to finish here. Thanks for watching, folks.